Hi everyone, how you doing? Alright, this is going to be a very short video, I hope. It's not a full-on presentation. As you may notice, I only have 3 slides because I just want to point out some very important things that I think would be better explained in visual rather than sending a very long voice note or a very long message. One of the benefits of writing for us, for insights, is that you get access to some SEO trainings and some other related writing training. So some of this training would be pre-planned, like the one that is on the Telegram group, while some, like this one, would happen based on the current situation or the current performance of the writers. So this particular recording is um, happening because it looks like most of you guys are getting comfortable with writing generic content, which is not very good for SEO. See, SEO writing is supposed to be problem solving, to put it in a non-technical way. You are writing with the conviction that whatever it is that you write, somebody's going to find it useful and thank you and even pray for you. That, yes, this is what I've been looking for, and I got everything that I need in this particular piece. So thank you. That is what SEO writing should be. SEO writing is not writing a textbook, because textbooks are broad and cumbersome, and there's just too much information, too many things happening at the same time. And you would agree with me that whatever it is you study in school, maths, English, biology, not everything in the textbook was actually useful to you or is actually useful to you right now. Do you get? So what you know about SEO writing, or what I believe most of you already know. You know about keyword research and insertion. Even if you don't know about keyword research, you know about keyword insertion, because it's compulsory that your keyword appears a particular number of times in your content, depending on the number of expected words. You know about structure formatting, which is using headers and H2, H3, using paragraphs, shortening your sentences, something like this that is not all clogged up together. That's simply what structure formatting is. So it's pretty, very, very straightforward. You know about meta description? Well, some of you may not know, but meta description is this. Yeah, this is a sample of meta description. So you search for something online, and the description that you see on the display page is actually um, what the meta description is. Sometimes it's not always what Google displays, but that's what meta description is, how to become a writer. Okay, so obviously this is not meta description, this is like featured snippets, but there are some places where you see meta descriptions. Yeah, something like this could qualify as a meta description. So some of you already know that. Then another thing is URL and permalink optimization. If you pay attention, and I seriously hope that you do, your entire topic is not usually what is on your link. So for instance, the link of this one is protect device from cyber attacks. And the actual topic is 5 ways to protect your device from cyber attacks. So your links are supposed to be short, optimized, punchy, and also communicate to the reader or the searcher that, okay, this is what you're going to get if you click on this link. Then internal linking is something like this. This is external. Give me a minute. Okay. This is internal. Internal linking simply means linking to an existing article on the same website, an existing page. Doesn't have to be an article actually, on the same website. That is internal linking. And the next is external linking. That's linking to something outside the website, like this one, African No Filter free webinars. It's outside the website. That's external linking. Both of them are very important for SEO. Then title optimization. Some of you may have noticed that it's not the same topic that you pick from the topic list, because the list has not yet been optimized. Like research, keyword research has not been done on them yet. So they're just mostly generic topics. And when you pick the topic, your editor is going to, optimize the topic for SEO. Now, these are the common things when somebody asks you, okay, do you know anything about SEO writing? And you tell yourself, yes, I know keyword, I know meta description, I know internal linking. Yeah, I know about SEO writing. Perfect. Yeah, you do to an extent. But what about the other things that are, well, we can't say they are more important than the other technical stuff that I mentioned, but they're equally as important. If you compromise on these things, your content loses its authority, your website loses its trust, and many things could go wrong from there. So, like I said earlier, some of you are getting too comfortable writing generic topics, writing generic content. So, these are just examples. So, if you're the one that wrote this, please don't overthink it. It's just they are more recent and the ones that actually stuck with me based on um what's it called, recency, the ones I remembered because maybe I corrected them after they were published or something. So value and quality. For instance, you're writing something on effects of online food retailing in Nigeria, for instance. If your first impression or anybody's first impression on this particular topic is let's order food online, right? If after clicking on the topic, I find something related to just e-commerce, like it's possible to say online food retailing is a subset of e-commerce, but you would agree with me that it is not just e-commerce. There's more to food retailing than e-commerce. So imagine you click on this link and most of the things that are there are just talking to you, are just telling you about e-commerce, maybe building an e-commerce website, positioning your food, your menu, and something like that. You're going to lose interest and you most likely bounce from the site. So value and quality of your content is very, very important to SEO writing. And the way that you can do this is from research. Like you cannot um underestimate the power of research. And when I say research, please understand, I don't just mean going to Google and searching for effect of food retailing. There is more to research than just searching on Google. There is a lot more to it. Google is awesome, right? It's very awesome. But there are other sources of information. You could get information from people around you. Okay, you want to talk about the effects of food retailing in Nigeria? Ask friends, just a random conversation. Hey, do you order food online? How do you think it affects you? No, you're not interviewing the person, or you could even go the interview way. People love reading interviews, like hearing what other people think about a particular topic. So if you can do an interview, please by all means perform an interview. What in-depth research gives your content is authenticity, and well, it gives your content the other things that I'm going to talk about here, really. So if you want to provide quality with your content, it's very important that you do your research. If it's what's the word now, an industry specific topic like this food retailing, you can see that the first topic said the first result is a scientific paper. If you're up for it, you can read this and even put science quotes. In fact, the most of the content they say are scientific papers, not blog content. So imagine this is the results we are getting normally on Google, and your goal is to simplify things for the average Nigerian. Adding a little bit, a touch of science to what you're talking about is actually going to make it interesting and more trustworthy, because they know that you're not just pouring random information that you got on Google. You actually did your research and you can even prove it prove it by linking out to those research papers. Of course, nobody's going to read your research paper, but the fact that it's there means that, okay, there's something valuable going on here, and I can trust this person with my food retailing decisions. Do you get? So conduct research, read from Quora. There are Nigerians on Quora. Read from Quora. Read from social media. Search on social media. That's what people are talking about as it relates to that topic, and try to craft your narrative based on that information. It seems like a lot of work where nobody is paying you for your writing, but at the end of the day, it helps you get better at writing, and gives you a certain level of confidence in your skill as an SEO writer, so to speak. Because even with all the portfolio, somebody will still look at your published content and say, okay, maybe you want to charge them $300 per piece, and they will tell you, yeah, your writing is good, but it doesn't look worthy of $300 per piece. Of course, you don't know what they were looking at, but still, it's a challenge to you as a writer to actually get better and write something that makes you stand out. Storytelling. One of the people that uses storytelling, I think he's the only one that actually uses storytelling as far as insight is concerned right now, is Samuel. And that, let me see if I can remember any recent article that he published. I know he wrote on SEO. So storytelling is, it doesn't mean you have to be a fiction writer. Storytelling is not that you have to craft, you have to go and start looking for, or what do they call it, literature in English, setting, theme, and all these technical terms when it comes to fiction writing. No, that's not what storytelling is. Storytelling is this particular line, this thing, this is storytelling. Before we go into the heart of the matter, I'll be calling you Charlie, regardless of your gender. First, this is because I love the name. It's not related to the topic, right? The topic is on page SEO for beginners, but his this writer is telling you that for this piece, and I want to communicate with you directly, and this is the name that I want to use to build a relationship between us. If you read the introduction, like you read from Are You a Writer Who Wants to Learn Basics of SEO, and you get to this point, you actually read it to this point, the chances that you're not going to read to the end is very, very low, because this this line alone has established a level of relationship and has told you that, okay, this person is actually interested in helping me out with this particular topic. I want to speak to you. Sit down in front of me. Let's have a conversation. So this is part of storytelling. Storytelling could be, if you're writing about a brand solution, for instance, now it could be mentioning testimonials, like I'm forgetting all these technical terms, customer content. Oh boy. Okay, it doesn't matter. All this user generated content. Yeah, that's the technical word. So you could be using content that your users, your customers generated, their reviews, their testimonials, their feedback based on what you did for them, and you're trying to create content on a particular topic around your brand solution. That could be storytelling. So storytelling, the main thing that storytelling does, it establishes a relationships and it keeps your readers hooked to what you are saying. Like they pay attention, they listen to you. I know it's writing, right? Like you don't listen to writing, but trust me, people listen. As they read, they listen, they imagine you speaking to them, giving them a solution to their problem, and telling them that this problem is not going to kill you. We're going to solve it together. That's what storytelling is. Examples and relatability. I have this particular one. All right, so this is talking about how to start a WordPress website development business. That's a very long topic. All right, we have she said there are 5. This she or he, I can't remember. Anyway, there are 5 steps, right? Choose a niche, hone your skills, create your portfolio, register your business, market your business. And each section was broken down. Okay, I have to check the person that wrote this. Okay, she broke it. She broke down each section, explained what it means as it relates to developing a WordPress website. I need you guys to remember, it's like you used to forget. So let me remind you again. Your main audience, the people you are speaking to with your content, are Nigerian. Yes, we have readers from India, we have readers from the US, we have readers from the UK, we have readers from South Africa. But the main people that your content is speaking to are Nigerians. So whether you've been freelance writing for 10 years and you've written for people in the UK, in the Australia, in the whatever, you need to remember that you're speaking to your people here. So there are some things that when it comes out to it, it's actually better to freestyle and occasionally catch crews, as people would say, than to sound so serious and all. Because if you would even pay attention to some big names in the content marketing world, you'll see that there's a little bit of humor in the things they say. And the people they are speaking to actually understand the humor because it's a cultural slang, so to speak. So that's by the way. Okay, there was a part here that said market your business. All right, so she said finally you need to market your business. You uh create the website and social media accounts and start networking with potential clients. You can create the website. In fact, this is a repetition. I didn't even spot this one. You can create the website, write blog posts, or network with. This is complete repetition. It's like you guys are trying to fill up the word expectation, then you end up writing fluff. You know what fluff means, right? Like things that are not necessary, just end up repeating. So instead of that, there are so many ways you can meet up with word count. Seriously. You said and social media accounts and start networking with potential clients. Give example. Social media accounts, LinkedIn, start networking with potential clients. How? Like somebody will finish reading this thing and will still be confused and may have to go back to Google and search for, okay, I'm a WordPress developer. How do I network with potential clients on social media? You've not helped this person. You just wrote what every other person in the industry is writing. Like 1 million people are writing the exact same thing, and there is nothing, absolutely nothing, to differentiate your content from the thousands of pages that are already existing on Google. So I need you guys to, okay, yeah, we're still on example. I need you guys to pay attention to using examples in your content. It still comes from research and it also comes from experience. If you don't need to know how to build a WordPress website, right? But all you need to know is how to be what being an entrepreneur actually means, because this is an entrepreneurial content. So when you say start networking with potential clients, give a scenario. How do they do that? Go to LinkedIn and pitch people. Okay, go to Google and search for this particular thing. Solve the problem. Because honestly, this thing that said market yourself, it did not solve the problem. It just said something generic. Market your business. Once you are confident in your ability, start marketing your business. Create the website, network with other businesses, network with potential clients. It's generic. That's just the simple way to put it. It is generic and it does not solve a problem. There's a particular content that talked about digital marketing. Okay, so in cases like this now, register your business. Yeah, we are in Nigeria and we already have a content on how to register your business. So maybe you don't have to elaborate on it since that content already exists in on the blog. Same thing for marketing. There's probably a blog post that talks about marketing. I don't know. I don't know the content that is on the blog, but there is probably something that talks about content marketing in details. Okay, there's definitely content marketing in details. It's not just the job of your editor to insert internal links. if you feel like, okay, this person is going to get more value if they actually click on this to understand this point that there is. Remember, on the guest post page, there is a part that says, imagine we're having a conversation with our readers, and your job is you're coming to continue that conversation. We don't want you to repeat things that already exist. We want you to be an extension of the things that already exist. So adding internal links to your own content, like links from insights that can give your content more value, is your job as a writer, not necessarily the editor's job. Yeah, they're still going to do their job and add content, but it's still your duty to provide value to your writer. Give me a minute. I actually want to remember a particular content that I had to correct. Okay, let's see. There is this, for example. Now, it says top 10 African countries with the best natural resources. Okay, well, I don't know how many people would search for this per se, but let's just say somebody is interested in this particular country. Your number one, excuse me, is Nigeria. Aha. You mentioned the oil. We have oil, we have natural gas, we have lead, zinc, and all of that. But at the end of the day, you did not put where to find those things. I was the one that corrected this content and asked that you can't just mention countries. Okay, these countries have natural resources without giving examples. You are not completing the experience. The goal is to learn something. Okay, you said Nigeria has natural resources. Where do I start looking? You didn't answer that question. You just gave some generic information about um Nigerian natural resources, and then you forgot about it just like that. That's not how it works. I've remembered the content that I'm looking for. Um, this one was talking about digital marketing campaign, how to create a successful digital marketing campaign. And there was a part that said, uh, you know what, let me just look for it. I know I said this is not going to be long, but then it's not my fault. Mm, and my network is bad, but let's just wait for that to load. All right. So the point that I'm still trying to make is use examples. Let it be relatable. Solve a problem. Like answer the question. Don't just don't just pour out information like that. Uh-huh. Okay. Mm, okay. In this part, she said 5 ways to set up a digital marketing campaign, outline, blah blah blah. 2.5, measure your results. Now measure your results. She said this data can, okay, after you've done the above, you need to measure the result. The best way to do that is to track your digital analytics. For example, you can track various metrics like the number of visits, click-through rate, landing pages, and this data can help you optimize your strategy. You can also use digital marketing tools to track your campaigns. There was a full stop here. This after digital marketing tools to track your campaign. There was a full stop here. And then the next line was these tools can help you track your channel. This is repetition, first of all. Number two, you've told me to measure my result, but you did not tell me how. What am I going to use to measure the result? Give me at least one example. Okay, HubSpot. Then I'll now know that, okay, I'm going to HubSpot too, and I'm going to search for using HubSpot to measure my result. At least you've simplified the research process for me. Do you get? Okay, I know I'm not talking to anybody per se, but I need you guys to understand where I'm coming from. So you need to give your readers a full experience. They are coming to you for help. And if you don't solve their problem, they would stop looking at you. This particular one, I didn't point it out, but now that I'm staring at it, I feel like there could have been more. Coca-Cola share a Coke campaign. I have no idea what that is. Like, I know what Coca-Cola is, right? But I don't know anything about the share Coke campaign. So how am I supposed to relate to this example that you're giving me? How am I supposed to imagine this example and then use it to create my own campaign? I have no idea who those real beauty. I don't know who that. Okay, we all know who Nike is. Just do its campaign. I have no idea what that campaign is about. You don't have to give full details, right? But giving some kind of context into what you're talking about actually helps the reader's experience. So that's that about examples. Then accuracy, specificity, originality. All of these are um well related to the audience who you're talking to. This content is about top 10 insightful career webinars that you should attend in Africa. The first version of this content, yeah, of course, encyclopedia is number one. You already know that. The first version of this content did not have um specific examples. Like there's a list, right? African food change makers webinar series. But for instance, there was no even up till now, it's still missing some things. There was no specificity about okay how to attend the career. Let me show you specific. Um, Something about email marketing. Email. Yeah, this. I want to show you what specificity means. All right. So this is best email marketing services for business owners, right? This is specificity. He didn't just list active campaign. I know what active campaign is. In fact, I think I'm even subscribed to their newsletter, but I've never used their services and I don't even know the particular features that they have because I've never taken the time to read it. I've never had to make a decision around email marketing. But this is specificity. This person is telling you that as you have landed on my page, oh, I'm not going to leave you hanging. You can use what's the name again, active campaign. This is how much you're going to be spending per month. This is how much you're going to be spending per year. This is what you're going to be getting if you choose to use this tool. This is specificity. It answers the question and it gives value. So when we say specificity, that's what we mean. Originality, this falls back to the people that you're writing for. Mm, Okay, another example of specificity now is this. 5 ways to protect your device from cyber attacks. This is 2022. Huh? Device. Let me list number of devices that I know from top of my head. There is Android, there is iPhone, and iPhone users will not even agree that they're using phone. It is iPhone. If you don't put the I, you are not talking to them. There is laptop, the normal laptop that normal like the HP, there is Mac. You understand that the way Mac works is different from the way Windows works, right? Like Windows is what people call laptop generally, the generic name laptop. But when you say Mac, we know that we're talking about Apple product. There are tabs. Okay, that's five that I just mentioned. Now, are you telling me, like with your full chest, that whatever device that I want to protect from cyber attack, this content is going to answer the question? I mean, if you can say that, like actually agree that this content answers the questions for all kinds of devices, then perfect. You've done justice to the topic. But if after going through this, I still have questions like, okay, how do I protect my Android phone? Or how do I protect my laptop? then you've not solved the problem. Okay, antivirus programs such as this is probably um um related more to a laptop than a mobile phone. But I have to get to the second point to understand that it's for a laptop. Or are you saying that there are no antivirus softwares for mobile devices? If there are, you did not specifically mention it that you can actually install this thing on your mobile device. Do you understand? So that's what specificity does. And another thing that specificity will give you is the ability to cover different topics, like similar topics but different angles. So if you have to write about protecting your Mac from cyber attacks, protecting your Windows from cyber attacks, protecting your Android from cyber attacks, there will be differences, right? And it will be answering a somebody's question. If I need help with security on my device, I don't just type device. I type Windows 11 because I know that that's what I'm using and that is what I need help with. I'm not going to use content that is related to Windows 8. I won't use it. So specificity also helps with readers' experience. Originality is back to the people that you're writing for. We're writing for Nigerians. So if there is a joke that you want to make that you know is a trending joke, most people would get it. You can use it. You Yes, we can all agree that there is nothing you want to write under the sun that somebody else has not written, right? But there are ways that you can actually present your content that makes it new, that makes it look like this thing does not exist any other place, even though you did not write it from your head. Of course, you found it online. So that's where originality comes in. And I think there is a part for accuracy and optimization. So I'm just going to round up because, like I said, this was not supposed to be this long anyway. At the end of writing and your editor has edited and published, remember that you are supposed to be an SEO writer. This means that you need to understand title tags, title optimization, overall content. You need to understand how spelling errors, structure errors, and all of that actually affect the performance of your content. So, and you also need to remember that, again, this content belongs to you. It has your name attached to it. So, yeah, Insight is going to take a percentage of the hit, so to speak, if something goes wrong with your content. But at the end of the day, it's still your name that is attached to it. So there's a difference between looking at your content on the document that you used to create it and then looking at it online. There is a change in viewing angle, like observation, change in perspective, where there are some things you'll see on the website that you would not have actually seen on um your document, because of course you are the one that wrote it. So there are some mistakes that you make, say, that you're not going to see, and of course your editors are not above mistakes too. So when I want to believe you always get the link to your content like after your editor has published it. So go through it, try to go through it, and if there is anything wrong with structure, maybe they made a mistake, and instead of full stop, like putting full stop here, for instance, they went to put paragraph and then put another line and the thing looks scattered. Let them know that they've made a mistake in their structure and they should correct it. And pay attention to spelling errors to yourself, you yourself, before you send it over and then after it has been published. This is a common mistake. I don't know why people make that mistake. Hone and horn. I've seen it a lot of times. There's no such thing as hone your skill. Like that is not an expression. It's not a correct expression. The correct expression is hone your skill. You can go to Google and browse it to get the correct version. So little things, all the little things are they are the ones that pile up to make something huge and massive. So as much as possible, try to pay attention to those little things. Try to give value to your readers. Try to make suggestions. It's just like with relation to topics, for instance. Now, like we've said, I think I've said it. I say it to people that recently joined the writers community, and I believe it has even been mentioned on the group. If you have topic ideas, feel free to communicate it to your editors or to any other admin on the group. If you pick a topic and you feel like, okay, you could actually modify it to focus on something specific, feel free to suggest. Again, this is your name attached to the content. You're the one writing it. And if you don't enjoy what you are writing about, you cannot provide an amazing experience for your reader. And that is supposed to be the end goal. You're supposed to enjoy the writing, and then your readers are supposed to enjoy the reading. There's supposed to be enjoyment in the entire thing. So if that enjoyment is not happening, then something is wrong somewhere and you need to fix it. So please try to pay attention to these things. Be part of the process and um well, I don't want to do motivational speech, but I believe you understand. So thanks for watching. Keep writing, keep learning. Enjoy. No, enjoy.